Welcome back to Catholic Conversations. As always, I'm your host, Joelle Zarnowski, and we are joined again by Bishop Lucia. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Joelle. Good to be here.
Yes, we're getting ready to celebrate your anniversary, 6 years.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I know. I'm sure sometimes it probably feels like you just got here, and other times it feels like you've been here forever, right?
Yeah, it's surprising how long I've been here, but then as I start looking over the period of time, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I have been around a while now.
Yeah. So we're just going to reflect on the last 6 years while we're together today.
Sure.
So could you, for our listeners, kind of share some moments over the last 6 years that kind of stand out to you as meaningful or memorable? I'm sure there's a lot.
There is, the one of the memories that comes to mind right away is when we did the Eucharistic procession on a Saturday evening for Corpus Christi, and did it around the cathedral area and all that. And I was so every once in a while when I see a picture of that, it just really it moves me, because to me that it's the Eucharist, which is really the core of who we are as church. And so as Vatican II says, it's the source and summit of our lives. So for me, I think that one image, probably the high point for me, is when I get to celebrate the Eucharist with the different parish communities and groups of the diocese. Even in those moments, like when I've gone, because it's the last Mass in a church or something, even those have been special moments of grace where you can see God working in the people. So
Yeah. For me, being able to watch your ordination as bishop, that was the first time that I've ever I watched it on live stream, but it was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. And it was really, really beautiful. And then being able to go to my first ordination to the priesthood a couple years ago, those have been some of the most beautiful masses that I've had the privilege of being at. So I'm sure that those have to be very special for you as well.
Oh yeah. I was thinking after as we were just sitting here, like, confirmation is another special, but ordination, I think that's the one thing that amazes me, is how many ordinations I've officiated at in 6 years.
Yeah.
Because it's almost 15, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bishops, that's one of those ceremonies. Some might have had the privilege of doing it, but you don't always have. And so for me, it's like, wow, that's the one sacrament I guess I wasn't expecting to do so often, but it's been really a privilege.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So kind of in that same vein, what have been some of the greatest joys that you've experienced since becoming bishop? For
me, the joy is I just love being with the people. So it's when I go with the parish visits, that's a great joy. When I had the privilege of serving for 3 of my years here as the pastor over at St. Margaret's in Mattydale, there was always a joy. There's just a joy of being, for me, with people.
Yeah.
I think other joys have been, like I say, I mentioned already, but just the joy of confirmation, and then also the joy, again, our young people are so spontaneous sometimes, and so just on the school visits or just some of the fun activities they've asked me to be part of sometimes, and I guess why I chuckle over there is some will say, I didn't know you could do that, Bishop, or things like that. I'm like, oh, once in a while we have fun. So.
Yeah. No, it's growing up and going to a Catholic school for elementary school and like growing up in my parish. I will never forget like the first time that I saw our pastor like out at the grocery store in like street clothes, and I was like, they don't have to wear the thing all the time. They're allowed to have regular clothes. Like, I was a little kid, I had no idea. So I'm sure that there are some misconceptions about you as the bishop, like, oh, he's allowed to go to the gym. He's allowed to laugh and joke around and have a good time. Well, of course you are. You're still human, even though you're the bishop. So, yeah. So obviously with every ministry, there's challenges, and that doesn't go away when you become bishop. It's not like it's this magic, oh, you're bishop now and all of your worries and troubles are gone. So what have been some of the most difficult moments that you've experienced as bishop, and how have you seen the Holy Spirit at work through those times?
Yeah. Well, I think probably the most difficult that I've had to face in my 6 years here, because it started just about that, was facing the abuse that had happened in the church, especially as the Child Victims Act came into force in New York State. And so again, there was a whole there were people coming forward, a whole group of people coming forward that hadn't come forward before. So it's like facing this horrible period in the life of the church, and trying to say, well, what can we do? How can we help? And so that has been difficult, because the stories to me, as I said to people before, I get sick to my stomach when I hear some of these stories. But on the other hand, I have found in the 6 years the how much grace has been at work, and that even in God in different ways have allowed for some healing to come forward. Some folks to be able to have some peace, and so that's really been, and of course, especially working through that as we've been through the Chapter 11 process, that has been that for me has been a great grace. As difficult as it's been, I've also it's been a grace moment.
Yeah. I would imagine that there's a lot of heartache that comes along with that for everybody involved. You as bishop and trying to show grace and mercy to everyone, and to help with the healing process from something that is very difficult to heal from. Right. But I know that a lot of people have been praying for our diocese and for the victims and the survivors during this time. And I think that those prayers are felt for sure. No,
the power of prayer is certainly, that is number one.
Yeah, absolutely. So how has being bishop deepened your understanding of what it means to be a shepherd in the church today?
Well, it's interesting. I think when I was named bishop, I had come to a point in my life. I had been ordained 30 years, so I was in my mid-50s when I became bishop, and I was thinking, okay, I had been working for the Diocese of Augsburg as far as in the diocesan office for about 20 years. So I thought, okay, now I can sort of go back to parish ministry full time, and sort of, I thought, okay, just I don't mean enjoy life, but I just thought, all right, get rid of some of the desk work.
Yes.
So, but the Lord had a different plan.
Yes, I guess so.
The Lord had a different plan, and I think for me that's been the big thing, is like trying to be open to what the Lord is asking of me. Mm-hmm. Not to think that I have it all, or like I got this planned and I got this planned, because I think that's maybe the biggest joke in the 6 years, is like, for a person who likes to plan things, I've had to be very flexible.
Yeah. Oh, I would bet. Yeah. There's obviously still a certain level of degree of planning, but sometimes things come up and there's no way that you could prepare for it, and you just have to trust the Holy Spirit that, all right, we're gonna get where we need to be.
And that's, for me being bishop, that's been the one thing of like, okay, Lord, I don't know if I know what I'm doing, but you're gonna have to just show me the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think everybody struggles with that, and I would hope that for our listeners, it's comforting to hear that our bishop struggles with that too. It's not something that, just because you're at a certain, level of ministry, or that you're in a certain position with the church, that goes away. I mean, I would assume that Pope Leo probably feels the same way.
Oh, I was thinking of Pope Leo quite. I thought to myself, what must it be to just all of a sudden find yourself in that role, that particular position? Because and the thing is, even as bishop, although I was a pastor, but nothing prepares you for it. So that's where you do realize, okay, all is grace. That's all. You going to what Paul would write in 2 Corinthians. My grace is enough for you. Yeah. That's something I hold on to.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. So as we now look ahead to the future of the diocese, what are some of the hopes that you have for our diocese in the years to come? Well, certainly I want to, as now even Pope Leo has talked, I really want to grow the idea of synodality in the diocese, which is it's more than just listening, but it's actually listening so that we work together. Synodality is like trying to respond to where people are at, but then also inviting us to grow, and especially to grow as church in our mission. So for me, that's one thing in the coming months, coming years. I want to grow in our mission. Next year, the diocese will be 140 years old, and so especially with that, it's the idea of looking back at the past where we've been, but knowing that one of the big calls of the church these days is evangelization, to share the gospel. How can we do that more? And so that's particularly what I'll be looking at. And again, I think one of the lessons I've learned in the 6 years I've been here is, we can have all kinds of programs. We can try to do all these different things, but really what it comes down to is for each of us who say, I believe in God, in a sense, to really respond to that call, follow me. Yeah. And so that to me is one of the bigger challenges, but also opportunities is, okay, how do those who call the Diocese of Syracuse home, who claim membership in this diocese, okay, what does follow me mean in my life? Yeah. And then so coming up here for the rest of this year, because we're still in the Jubilee year, right? So we have the pilgrimage to the Divine Mercy Shrine coming up in September. So you'll be there to say Mass with everybody that day and spend the day there. It looks beautiful. I haven't been myself. Oh, it's one of my favorite places. Oh, that's great. I love it. I love going. Just the idea of going back there. Yeah, I like. It's a very special place. Yeah. Well, and the time of year will be nice too because it's September. So I think we'll be in the start of like the changing leaves and I've seen the photos and I know other people that have gone and it's such a beautiful experience, so we'll have that to look forward to. And I'm sure there will be some other things that go along with the Jubilee year, and we're still wrapping up the Eucharistic revival. I think we still have another year of that, and then obviously the Synod is still going on. So the Synod, and one thing we were hoping to have was a diocesan Synod, but I've had to sort of put that on the back burner because with the synodal work they want the diocese to do now, it really is mirroring what we would have done in a diocesan synod. Okay. So that's why I'm sort of, folks said, weren't you talking? And I was, but it seems the Holy Spirit has other plans, so I have to sort of. As we said before, you can plan all you want, but things change. So, no, that's great. Well, thank you again for joining us today, and thank you. Happy anniversary. Thank you, hopefully you'll be here with us for many more years to come. We with the help of the Lord, that's what we hope. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And thank you to our listeners. We will see you next week.